Welcome, fellow knights. My name is Apollo, and the time has finally arrived. Thrones of Britannia. Well, it's actually not quite here yet. This is more of a preview build, and I do want to give a big thank you to CA for letting me try out the game and showing you guys some of the features. I won't be able to cover everything, but I'm gonna try to cover everything that I know and to give you guys to help you guys understand what this game is going to be about. Now, this is still a work in progress. You might see bugs. You might not. Just keep that in mind. And also, I'm only allowed to upload 30 minutes of content total, and each episode can only be about 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to go fast here. This is just going to be a 3-part campaign, just showing as much as I can. So yeah, today we're going to be playing as a Circenn. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry. I'm going to mispronounce a lot of things. You're going to see me saying, oh, these guys over here, because I don't want to say their name because I'm going to butcher it. But yeah, they're one of the Gaelic kingdoms. So the Gaelic kingdoms, they've got some pretty cool buffs here. Legitimacy. So this is your divine right to rule, own cultural land, and defend allies to gain unique bonuses. So when you gain your own when you gain your own land or you defend allies of the same blood, you will get unique bonuses. You have a church bonus, 25%. I think you make more money with your churches, which is really cool because they're pretty religious people. Also, there's +2 loyalty with your lords that manage different estates. So right away, it's pretty freaking awesome. I love the fact that it's small scale, but I don't care about that. I don't want to rule the world. I want a game that feels like, yes, like any possibility is possible. Like, you've got the early medieval time period, so you got to manage your estates. You can do really creative diplomacy. You can, help. It just seems like the campaign features are a lot more in depth compared to other Total Wars, which is really exciting. Also, the faction features, more specifically for Circenn, they have good all-around infantry, some good spearmen, very strong missile units, and powerful, unique crossbowmen. So yeah, they've got crossbows, they've got really powerful skirmishing units, which is pretty cool. They have some pretty good immunity to snow attrition, which is great. It makes sense, they're in the north. And also Stone of Destiny. See, legends say that the Stone of Destiny brings wealth to its bearer. Undertake a mission to find it. Oh, very cool. So this is not the start of a campaign. This is actually about 58 turns in. So you don't get to start off with this amount of territory, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, 58 turns in. So let's just hop onto the map here and start talking about some of the features. So the HUD is actually quite different in this. It's not like terribly different, but it does take some time to get used to. There's a lot of new campaign features that take a while to get used to, and honestly, guys, I don't really keep up with the campaigns of the newer Total Wars, so I'm gonna be a lot more lost, I think, compared to most content creators and stuff, because I don't play campaign that much. But I certainly will probably play it more, now that they added these really interesting mechanics. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you, so let me just go ahead and show you the technology here. So you got two different, of course, this is pretty standard. The layout is much different though, and you've got a lot of different options to go through here, which is really cool. Now, what I find to be really fascinating about this game, technology-wise, is that if you want to go technology-wise with your cav, you've got to recruit a lot of cav. So if you want to improve your cav, you've got to recruit cav. If you want to get artillery, you've got to siege. I think you have to siege a certain amount of settlements, which makes sense, right? If you're recruiting a lot of cav, that means you're investing a lot in cav, so you're going to improve the technology of that unit. So I think that's really, really awesome mechanic. I think that's genius. I really, really do like that. We should probably pick a tech here. And by the way, it looks like missile units have been greatly upgraded. So let's actually, I guess we'll put some stats in. Let's put some defensive stats, some tech there for our swordsmen, because I feel like most of the aggressiveness is going to come from the archers. So I want my infantry to be a little bit more defensive. After we research that, we might go for estates here. Research rate 180%. Nice. We can now build some estates there. It looks like we've got all this. Educate nobles. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you got trade, industry, military support, leadership. which I think is pretty important for your king and whatnot. Also, we've got this is really awesome. I like this too. So every once in a while, certain lords they'll level up. They'll like be able to level up their traits. So right now we've got a governor here who doesn't have a wife. Sad. He's very loyal. But yeah, he can level up some traits, and we got tons of different options here. Now, obviously, you want to shape your lords depending on what their specialty is. For example, if you have a general, you might not want to focus on scribe, because if this general just goes and conquers land, then scribe is not that important, because that improves your governance and 10% local province. So that might not be something for, like, let's say you have a commander that's more about pillaging. Well, you can maybe go for a siege engineer, which will +1 siege holdout time and -1 siege holdout time enemy in province. That's pretty cool. Or maybe you want to go for campaign movement. So this is quartermaster. This is 5% campaign movement. Pillager. That would be great for a raiding general. So you can see you've got all these different options that you can use to improve your governors and your generals. So we're going to continue to improve scribe. Because I think he's just a governor. I just want him to be well educated and really good at governing. You can also look at family. So this is the family tree. You can see you got all the different like options here. So family tree, right now we've got the king. Your sister is actually queen of another faction here. I believe this is the other Gaelic faction. I'm not sure. We do have a son here, an offspring. Also, we can seek a wife. Check this out. Let's get this guy a lovely lady here. Who do we got? Let's see, characters married. Does she have -1 influence plus -1 loyalty? Unhelpfully, she speaks when she should stay silent. Oh man. Let's turn her down. I bet we can get you someone better, son. All right, don't worry. And we do need to look ahead of our kingdom. You know, we need to make sure we have offspring. And we make sure we have heirs to the throne in case one dies or the king dies, or even marry into another kingdom and take control of their lands. I don't know if that's possible in the game, but it seems like it. And then you got governors and estates. Now, it's really important to keep your people happy, right? You want your lords happy. You can see their loyalty here. Now, lords will start to lose loyalty if you start taking lands and you just keep all the estates. The best thing to do is when you start to take estates, give them to your lords. That will make them more loyal to you. I mean, it makes sense. It's so historic. Like, there's so many things, like, gameplay-wise. It's like, oh, this is really cool because it feels real. It feels like this is a thing that would happen in this time. This is, like, early feudal system. So we got a couple lords who don't have any lands or estates. But yeah, you can definitely change in the lords. If a lord is maybe really low on loyalty, maybe you can give them a better estate. I'm not really too sure. Again, I'm still learning as much as possible here and trying to get a grasp of the campaign. It might take some time, which is really cool. I'm totally fine with that. Let's have a campaign that takes time, you know? Takes time to learn. But yeah, you got all these guys which you can give estates. Which is, I think, really cool. Then we got records here. You can see your military activity. That's pretty cool. Here's the event feed. And then here's the stats so far. My most favorite thing about the game would have to be army recruitment. I freaking love this mechanic because it's so realistic. It is so awesome. So let's go ahead and recruit. I guess we'll recruit an army at Dunektan. There are some nice traits with this guy. He is older, has more experience, and he's free. You know, let's go with this guy. So, yeah, we got our general. We're going to go and put him in the city. And see how he's very low? It's like, you're probably thinking, why doesn't he have full force? Well, that's because he's got to raise his forces. Now, is that not just blowing your mind? There's no standing army. You've got to recruit these forces and prepare them for battle. So I think that's pretty cool. So we got a lot of spears. You can see the more professional the unit, the less there are, which makes sense because, you know, they're just more elite. So there's going to be less of them. So we'll get some axes here. We are out of money. And it also, guys, we are pretty much out of time for this first episode. So you can see it moves quickly. I'm pumped for Thrones. I think campaign-wise, it's going to be very interesting, very dynamic. It's going to be really exciting. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.